This is part 2 of my match content using the Military Armament Corporation DS-9 at the High Desert 3-gun match held in early June of 2024. So these are really long stages that take up to 6 minutes to shoot. I've already shot the rifle portion of the stage, going to pistol on the Wobbly bridge here. I have a big problem with this Wobbly bridge in that I have to consciously think to not move and not let myself overcorrect trying to stabilize, because I just start oscillating faster and faster. Had the same problem with this thing last year, but not a prop I get access to very often, other than when I'm up here in Idaho. So you can see I'm kind of just oscillating out of control, have to stop and pause, but I'm eventually going to get the spinner over and then move on to the rest of the pistol targets on this stage. All right, thankfully I can now exit the Wobbly bridge and move on to the other handgun targets. Coaching is allowed at this match. You're going to hear squad mates or the range officers call out to me with what I need to hit. And I'm going to start to move out of here almost forgetting to engage the paper target off to my right, but fortunately let me know and I move back into position to get it. Continuing to move throughout the stage. Just have to engage a few more paper targets, then I'm done with the pistol portion of this. This is the very end of a long stage. I'm close to parring out. I have to shoot this spinner support hand only while holding this window open. I'm not allowed to rest it on my head apparently, and I'm going to be running out of time. One-handed spinner is a challenge in and of itself, let alone support hand only, and then I have to do this support hand only as well. I end up running out of time, just including it so you can see that the gun works through every stage. That activator does the drop turner there, and I have one shot to get that clay in the center. I fortunately shoot it and don't get any of the no-shoots. Then it's time to go to war, knocking down all these poppers. There's a pistol target out at 100-something yards here. I just fire one shot at it to get the engagement. I don't hit it. Moving on to day 2 here. Finally, some more fun engagements. You're going to get to see me shoot at some moving steel targets here. Easily clear that spinner. Over here, we have a Polish plate rack. I'm going to clear it easily as well. Kill one side so it bottoms out, then kill the other. Close range paper here. Some hard angles just outside the shooting area. Then another spinner here at just about 10 yards. Rotate it easily. And then in the back corners of this range, there's going to be some pistol targets or slug targets. I'm opting to engage them with pistol, meaning I need to get multiple hits to neutralize them. Three hits to neutralize. Shooting into the sun isn't great. This is the first stage in the morning. I have to clear and dry fire before reholstering. More slug or pistol targets out here. Again, 3 hits to neutralize. Not sure if you can see them on video, but better lighting conditions, a little bit easier for me to hit. I like the knockdown steel targets here. Very easy to reset when it's your turn to go do that. You don't have to pick them back up off the ground. You just tip them back up on top of their posts. Often found myself wishing I had a bigger mags than 17 rounds, but in stealth division, I cannot fit my pistol in the box with more than 17 round magazines. Good time to reload anyway before engaging a spinner. No problem with hitting targets on this stage, but I'm going to lose track of which targets are supposed to be pistol versus shotgun. Plate rack I'm coming up on is supposed to be a shotgun plate rack, and by engaging with the wrong gun, the pistol in this case, I end up getting penalties for all of those targets as if I hadn't even shot at them.
What? Square target, far right. I got the plate rack and shotgun.
Apparently I didn't hear my squad mate saying that this plate rack was a shotgun target, so I finish it off here, giving myself even more penalties.
What am I looking for? Square target, white, beyond the white barrel. To the right.
If it isn't obvious, this isn't a stage that I walked very much or had a solid plan for, and if I did have a plan, it's kind of fallen apart at this point. I'm just responding to directions from my squad mates as to what I have left to shoot with the pistol.
Okay, what else? White square target on the right barrel. White barrel, far right.
Thankfully, that's finally over, but the next stage doesn't go much better because my battery tray on my optic launches out while I'm shooting. Dot disappears, still manage to get the spinner, realize my dot's gone,
Oh, great.
and the iron sights on this pistol do not co-witness with the optic in place, so I kind of blindly fire through the center of the optic and don't engage a ton of pistol targets on this stage. We were able to find the battery tray and screw to the optic and get my pistol back into action for this next stage. Here I'm engaging some targets at probably about 35 to 50 yards. One failure to completely cycle there. This is a dry, dusty environment, and I'm into hundreds of rounds of shooting it between cleaning. Told that 2011s like to run wet, and I do have an increasing number of failure to cycle malfunctions as the gun is dry, but once I lube it back up, those malfunctions go away. It was interesting to run it to the point that it started malfunctioning, and now that I know that 2011s like to be run wet, I'm going to keep it well oiled in the future. Now I have to move forward to the next area and switch firing hands for those series of targets. While I'm moving, I'm going to note that the optic plate for the DS-9 uses a Glock rear sight, so you can in fact swap the sights out on the earlier Mac DS-9s to have co-witnessed iron sights through the optic for emergency use, if you want to be able to do that. The current Mac DS-9's iron sights do co-witness through the optic when you have it mounted. Shooting the spinner right-handed definitely feels weird, like someone else is shooting, but I am able to pull it off. Another malfunction there from lack of lubrication. And this is the spinner with the holes through the center of the plates, so it's a little more difficult than the normal spinners. Clearly not as good with my shot-to-shot recovery right-handed to just hammer the spinner over like I normally would, but I make it happen with the appropriate amount of alternating hits. Now, these red plates in front here are no-shoots, and I need to knock down the plates behind. Every time I hit the red plate, that is a no-shoot penalty. On to the last stage here. I have lubed up the pistol in between stages, and you're going to see that it doesn't have any malfunctions after it's been lubed back up. Going to have to engage some paper targets and some distance steel from outside the van before I get inside of it and finish on the Polish plate rack.
All right, moving on.
Don't want to waste a lot of time on the distance pistol targets there. Sometimes you just need to cut your losses because there's so many other targets to engage on a stage, and this is definitely one of them. Doesn't benefit you to shoot that last target that's way out there and then leave like all these dozen targets inside here to be hit. Definitely annoying running out of ammo on a moving target like that. I'm going to get loaded back up. Black plate in front of the Polish plate rack here is a hardcover target, so hitting it doesn't matter. And shooting from inside this van, leaning over the back of the seat, is just a frustrating position. Definitely not my best match on these long stages. There's plenty of opportunities to make mental errors and for other things to go wrong. But I did get through it, and the Mac DS-9 did run as long as it was kept lubricated. Since recording this, I actually purchased another Mac DS-9 that has the co-witnessed iron sights and a TSOS Duty 9mm, also with the 4 1/4 inch barrel. I'll be doing a follow-up on those guns on InRange at some point. But I did like this gun enough that I bought it and bought 2 more of the same style. I like to have duplicates of things with as much as I shoot. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of in-depth competition shooting analysis, please consider supporting me directly on Patreon. And always remember, the Second Amendment is for everyone.